Hey, yo, everybody. Welcome to the KillJoy Jake YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys for stopping by on a hump day. Sorry I'm fashionably late. I was scarfing down a bowl of ramen noodles, and none of you wanted to see that. Trust me. A lot of slurping sounds. Things you guys don't want to get into. But what is up? What is up?
You probably know.
Oh, okay. Forgot to mute the stream, and we just got an ad blaring through. That's so funny. I don't know if anyone heard that, but it was like, you probably got, and shut it off. But anyways, it's a very exciting day. In terms of horror news, lots to talk about. Tons of trailers have come out just in the past couple of days. One of my favorites being Predator Badlands. Really excited to see what that's all about. But another thing I really want to get into is Black Phone 2, something we haven't been talking about a ton on the page, just because there hasn't really been too many like big updates since the trailer came out. But man, it's a movie I'm excited about, and I'm really hyped to get into it. On top of that, probably the thing I'm the most excited to talk about today, let's just be real here, is the fact that we have a big update on VHS Halloween. That's what the subtitle's gonna be, baby. VHS Halloween. I'm so excited for that movie. We got ourselves a whole lineup of new directors, and I just made a whole video about it that, honest to God, maybe my favorite update video I made all month. I was just glowing with joy in that video today, and I also got to watch some crazy short films from a lot of these up-and-comers. So definitely check out that video if you have not seen it yet. Lots to talk about in regards to our new directors in the VHS franchise. That comes out October 3rd. Check out today's video. Now let's get into some just horror talk in general. Cryptic Haze is saying, might be insane in the membrane for this take. Great reference. But hear me out. Joe Keery for Tommy Jarvis. I don't hate that at all. That's not an insane in the membrane take at all. Joe Keery rocks. I would love to see him in some more 80s properties beyond Stranger Things. That could be fun. Don't shame me for having a pop, by the way. I need some vices in the middle of this insane week. So I try not to drink pop on stream. Don't drink pop. It's horrible for you. But you know what? Today I need some calories. I need some sugar, and I need to have some shit put into my body today. It's been a week already. We love it. Cryptic Case, thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you. JPR is saying, what are you hoping most for VHS Halloween? What do you hope it does most after Alien Space Focus and VHS Beyond? I'm hoping we get like a fall or autumn aesthetic to this movie. Like probably one of my biggest things about it that I'm hoping for. It seems like that's going to be the case. One of the directors that I talked about in today's video actually had made a short last year that is so it's so Halloween focused. It feels so like spooky season vibes. It's called Pumpkin Guts. I highly recommend watching it. It's basically a VHS segment that's not found footage. So I imagine dude's adapting that to the VHS franchise. That's what he's likely done. But man, I think it's going to be a lot of shorts in that kind of vibe, right? Because VHS Beyond, almost all of those shorts have the same vibe, right? Except for the Justin Long one where it's about like transitioning people and the dogs. That was crazy. But I think that VHS Halloween, it's going to have like a spooky season vibe to pretty much every short. Everyone's take and sort of how can we do some sort of fall horror here? You know, colored leaves are coming down on the ground kind of vibe, jack-o'-lanterns all around, trick-or-treating, you know, just a ton of different things that we can play off of there. I even hinted at the idea that they could do something along the lines of you know, riffing on popular Halloween horror movies. I mean, like Halloween, you know, Michael Myers, guy in a mask walking around town. Could they do something like that, but in found footage, and hopefully not make it like Halloween Resurrection, like that one scene from that movie? But but anyways, I could talk about VHS all day long. We'll try to switch up the topic here and there. But I am glowing after today's update. Tom, number 3 on our crown system here. What's up, Tom? Saying, yo, what's up, Jake? Did you watch the Alien Earth First Look? I did. I watched a lot of the new Alien Earth stuff. I'm really excited for this show, man. I usually don't cover a ton of shows on the page, but man, I think that's one I'm definitely going to be all over. That one, the It series, I think I'm also going to cover Stranger Things 5. Even though, you know, for some reason, there's just not a whole lot of love for Stranger Things here on YouTube. I don't know what it is. It's not like, I mean, a ton of people talk about it, and then they just, even when some of the bigger channels talk about it, they just don't get a ton of views. I don't know what it is. Stranger Things, it's a tough thing to do content on. I wish I could figure it out, but I feel like it's a really fun series to talk about. I would make more videos on it personally, if there was the interest there, but it's tough. Lots of good series coming out though, and Alien Earth maybe at the top of my list in terms of things I'm the most excited for. Cannot wait to see what that's all about. Prequel series to the Alien franchise, diving a little deeper into Weyland-Yutani's origins, which I think especially is going to be a really interesting thing. Sounds like there's going to be some sort of duology in the storyline between, like, you have all these different evil creatures, not evil, but just dangerous creatures from across the universe. And now we're kind of comparing that to the 5 different corporations that Weyland-Yutani is kind of up against in this like ring of just taking overall power, essentially. So it's going to kind of be the story of how they rose to the top. And that's exciting to me. It's like, oh, shit. While doing a similar story with the Xenomorph. I can't wait, dude. I think it's going to be fun. Paul is not late, and he's celebrating, saying, yippee! Not missed the start. Hope everyone's had a good day. Same to you, Paul Bradley. Welcome in, my friend. What's up? Paula Fitzhenry saying hi. Hi, Paula. Yo, yo, yo. RJ Skurenki saying Halloween 6 celebrates 35 years this year. Ooh, 35 years of an inconclusive sequel. What do you know? I still have some love for Halloween 6. It's a weird one. Paul Rudd steals a baby. How can you not like that? Come on now. Cody, thank you for being a member, my friend. Saying I'll also be getting The Quarry and Walking Dead, the Tall Tales or whatever, the Telltale series. I know what you're talking about. You're getting that next week. You're excited to play those games. And you also saw the new You saw Fantastic Four already? Doesn't that drop tomorrow? I don't. Or maybe it's already came out. I don't know. I'm not sure. I still haven't seen Superman yet, dude. I'm just totally behind when it comes to a lot of the bigger releases. I've just been focused on the horror movies here. But I want to see Superman. I want to see Fantastic Four. Hopefully I can get around to that at some point. The Darkness Speaks is saying Terrifier 4. Let's go. Darkness Speaks. If everything works out this week, hopefully I'll be able to post a Terrifier 4 video. I haven't had a whole lot of time to talk about it. There hasn't been too many big updates, but there are some thoughts that have been poking around my brain that I'm like, oh, might be a cool thing to make a video about. So hopefully I finally get some Terrifier content out at some point here. But I have an idea for a video that just hit me yesterday that hopefully we'll be getting to soon. Really excited for some Terrifier 4 updates, though. Those should be coming soon. Right? We should be getting something about Terrifier, man. It's kind of just like all the Terrifier 3 hype happened and then just like nothing. It was crazy last fall, and now we've just kind of been sitting around with a whole lot of nothing. Samantha Robinson is saying, hey, Jake, just got the Nika Megan figure today at Walmart. Very nice. Are you adding it to a collection, or is this your first? I'm just curious. Your first figure. Let me know. Jace Crawford is hanging out with us. Jace was just commented on the VHS video talking about how we were asking for an update, like what's going on with VHS 8, and we finally got one today. Grabber looks so cool. Black Phone 2 is going to be nuts. God, I'm excited, dude. I'm really hyped for Black Phone 2. This is one of the movies I'm probably the most excited for as we get into the rest of the year. Honestly, it just looks like they're trying to do like this a Nightmare on Elm Street style sequel to it. And to me, like, if you're going to make a sequel to The Black Phone, which is, in my opinion, a movie that doesn't really necessarily need a continuation, that's the way to do it, is try to make it something else entirely. Sure, so it's a swing for the fences, and I think it could be really good. So we'll see what's up with all that. That'll be fun. Daniel Detlefson, what's up, my friend? What is up, Daniel? What segment of the new VHS are you the most excited for? We don't know a ton about the actual details of the segments so far. We just really know about the directors. But I'll tell you what, I am really excited to see whatever this Pumpkin Guts thing is going to be. I feel like that's my really only real guess as of right now, after doing some research on the directors this morning. Where the franchise could be going in terms of plot details with segments. I could totally see, I can't remember the dude's name. It's like Brian something. He made this short film called Pumpkin Guts. Could totally see him adapting that to found footage. It's a more traditionally shot 80s feeling Halloween story, but I could see him translating that into some sort of found footage for this new movie, which I'd be totally down for, because I'll tell you what, it's a sick segment, and it's kind of got like a Pumpkinhead vibe to it. If you're familiar with that story, similar but different. Parallel is, I think, how I would describe it. It's a parallel story, but not quite the same. But man, I'm really excited. I love the Halloween aesthetic that they're pushing with this one. I hope they just keep making these movies forever and onward. I just saw Eli Cortez say, am I going to grab that new Hellraiser game? Yes, and I'm trying to make a video about it over on GullGotha, the gaming channel. Really trying to do something about that at some point. Really excited for it, man. Looks sick. Single player horror game, which I feel like every time they make a new horror game, it's trying to be just Dead by Daylight, and that's so boring to me. Like, you know how I have this complaint on this page a lot about how every requel is kind of the same, and then when one finally does something different, it's always good, like across the board. That's how I feel about a lot of horror games the more that I read up on them and I play more of them. There's so many multiplayer horror games that are all just trying to be Dead by Daylight because it's like the most popular horror game out there as of right now. And it's refreshing that Hellraiser is just doing this like first person style, like single player storyline game that I feel like it's going to be great. Like, honest, I have nothing but good things to say about it. The trailer looks awesome. I think it's going to rock. Pat and Jester want to say hi to a few more folks, and I think we're gonna get to that super chat. Thank you for the support. Pat and Jester is saying, I know this is off topic, but have you heard that Ozzy Osbourne has passed away? Yes, and I was an emotional wreck about it on the gaming stream yesterday. Dude, Prince of Darkness, baby. It's not off topic, let me tell you. I feel like you can't have a whole lot of horror without Black Sabbath. Come on now. But Ozzy Osbourne is my favorite voice in music, and it really just bummed me out yesterday learning that. That's just a celebrity. I'll be honest, celebrity deaths, I don't know. Like, if I just don't know the person, it doesn't really affect me that much. This was one that kind of hit me like a semi-truck. I've been listening to Ozzy for the last 24 hours, dude. Like, nothing but Black Sabbath and solo stuff for for 24 hours, making videos and listening to that. And I'm just like, I'm a wreck. I really am. Black Sabbath is probably my all-time favorite band. I love all their music, even the stuff without Ozzy too. Like, I mean, holy shit, Heaven and Hell, I think, is a masterpiece. Same with Mob Rules. There's so much good music from that band, and it's so much good music and so much variety. I don't know. I love Black Sabbath, and hearing that Ozzy's gone, it's the world is a little less cool, I feel, without him. But yeah, it's a bummer. Faith Dorn is saying, hey Jake, hey chat. Hope everyone is having a great Wednesday. Same to you, Faith Dorn. It's hump day, baby. A Krenich, thank you for being a member. Hello, hello, hi, hello, yo, yo, yo. Want to get to the super chat, by the way. Moving to the front of the line. They will be prioritized, as I put down there, right? We're prioritizing, baby. MM Garza 1997. Thank you for the $10, my friend. Saying they need to change it up in Scream 7. Let's have Ghostface killings like a cult, similar to the Charles Manson family. Ooh. Instead of being two killers going after the gang for a 7th time. I hear you on that. I'm so here for Scream switching it up. And I'm really not this way with every franchise. I feel like, yeah, you can't just do the same story over and over again, but with a lot of franchises, there's a formula that's fun. And sometimes it's kind of cool to go through a repetition of that. But with Scream, I feel like when you have a franchise where your initial movie just revolutionized slashers and did something so different, it's almost like there's these impossible boots to fill with every entry. Like, you can never truly satisfy fans with a sequel to that film. But you have to try, is how I look at it. Like, if you don't try, and there have been sequels where I feel like they haven't even really tried in those regards, it feels disappointing. So to me, if you're making a Scream sequel, you gotta try to push something different. At least do something different than what the franchise has now created tropes for. You know what I mean? That's a thing that I feel is really unfortunate about Scream, is that we're coming on to entry number 7 now. And I feel like there's just tropes. There's things we expect every single time. And that's a problem. With Scream, it's something that I feel like we got to kind of reinvent every single time. Otherwise, is it a Scream film? You know what I mean? It's like, is that the DNA of the franchise? I feel like it's an arguable talking point, yes. But for me, Scream has got to find a way to just kind of revolutionize every single time. Do something different than how the last one did it, at the very least. So will 7 accomplish that? Well, I do have an update video that I want to do for tomorrow. Talking about some rumors, talking about a few updates, small things overall, but things that have me excited. Because if they're true, and I have reason to believe that they're true, it could mean just really good things for the future of this franchise and just for Seven's quality overall. You know, I've been very, very, very judgmental in a lot of the decisions made with Scream 7, but it all comes from a place of passion. I want this movie to succeed so bad because I know that if this movie doesn't do well, I don't know what the future for Scream's going to look like. I want every Scream movie to fucking bang and make $1 billion at the box office, but in reality, things have got to be high quality. And I said this, I think I actually said this on the last stream about how it bums me out whenever I have to give a bad review to any horror film because, man, this is a genre that just doesn't get enough love. Doesn't have the same kind of you know, audience as something like a kids movie where you could easily cross like a 500 million line if you do something like decent. But with horror, it's like, man, it's a miracle if you get to 200 mil. It is. It just, that's just what it is. It's a smaller audience you're catering towards. So it's kind of like when a horror movie bombs, it usually really, it's a bummer. It's a bummer is what it is. And I don't want to see that for Scream 7. I hate seeing it kind of happen with I Know What You Did Last Summer, even though it's moving up there. Second weekend might be a bit of a surprise. We'll see what ends up happening with that one. But it always bums me out to see any horror film not do well at the box office. So I'm really hoping that Scream 7 just rakes it all in, and I think it will. It's got too much star power not to. I mean, as long as they advertise the fact that all these stars are coming back, it's going to do well. But I guess the question is, you know, will they do something revolutionary? Will they have a big twist? Will they do something that is executed well and feels satisfying to fans? Doesn't feel like something we've already seen a million times before, kind of like the last movie's twist, you know? We'll see. We'll see what's up with that. But Garza, I love your Deadpool profile picture. I think that's like one of the... I could be wrong, but is that from like Deadpool 2? When they did all like the drawings over the credits? That's kind of what that looks like to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy, but I really love the look of that, dude. Thank you for the $10. Appreciate it a ton. We also have can I speak words? I almost said Wesley. Wes Carpenter Flicks. Hey, yo, I see you're a Scream fan. Saying, yo, Jake, I'm running to pick up a 1995 CRT television. Oh, is it the one that killed Stu Macher? And yes, you heard me right. Dude, that's sick as fuck. Be careful. Don't drop it on your head. I hear those things could kill. So be careful. They're heavy, buddy. But Wes, thank you for the $2, my friend. What are you doing with that CRT television? I'm just curious. I hope you're not throwing it onto anybody else's head. That's what I'm worried about. But let me know. Keep us updated in the chat. I need an update on that one. Garza, once again, throw another 5 out there. You're at number 1, buddy. And you, holy shit. And you threw a third one. You're killing it, my friend. You're saying, I would love a John Wick style purge movie where a survivor is trying to survive the purge and he fights purgers with martial arts and gun fu. I don't think I've ever heard that term before, but I love it. I need 100 more John Wick movies. You know, they're talking about doing John Wick 5, and I'm just kind of at the point where, spoilers, I guess this movie's been out for over a year, but just bring them back to life. Like, who cares? I don't care. I want more John Wick movies. I'm at the point where, like, I'm a Stu fan. Like, you know how people are like Stu trainers with Scream? That's how I am with John Wick. Just bring them back to life. I don't care. Like, I will legitimately not... It won't take away anything for me from John Wick 4. I just want to see this guy alive running around killing people again. It was really refreshing to see him in Ballerina. He's just a character that every time I see him on screen, it puts a smile on my face. I absolutely love Keanu Reeves so much. Give me 1 million more John Wicks. But a new Purge movie is on the way, my friend. We have Purge 6. It's happening. And I'm excited. I'm weirdly a little more fond for the Forever Purge now. I don't think I was for a little while there, but I'm a little more like, okay, you know, I didn't hate that. I don't hate that as much now as I did. But hopefully whatever they do next with the Purge, it's something better than The Home that drops this weekend from the same director. Here's my thing about this movie. It is a so bad it's good, like to a T, but it's not for everybody. I kind of loved it though. Like I would go so far as to say I want to see it again. Like I may pay money to watch that movie again because it was so ridiculous. But is it for everybody? No. Is it going to be a smash hit? No. But oh my God, The Home, man. If you want a real so bad it's good movie, I recommend seeing that this weekend. And following up with the profile picture, you're saying it's Ed Pool. Oh, it's Ed from Ed, and okay, I got you. It's an Ed and Eddie Deadpool mix reference. That's sick, bro. I fucking love that. Oh my God. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I love it, dude. Deadpool is like, I was obsessed with that movie for a little while. Just, it cracks me up. Really fun. Really fun watch, at least for the first two. And one more super chat from you, my friend. You're saying, I love the Ballerina spinoff. I hope there's a sequel. I love Anna de Armas. Agreed across the board. Ballerina rocked. There's no bad John Wick movie. I'm just going to be real. I think they're all five of them just banger after banger after banger. I'm not even like crazy about action. I'm not even like a big like, oh man, love me some action movies. I like them from time to time, but there's something about John Wick, how they're building out this crazy ass universe. I'm loving that we're doing spin-offs too. This is such a great universe to do more movies, I feel personally, with other characters, because there is just so many other elements that haven't been explored as much that I wouldn't mind. Like the whole table thing under the table, that whole concept to me is so fascinating. I could do video after video of John Wick theories that I have. So loving where the series is going. I can't wait for whatever the hell John Wick 5 is going to be all about. Bring it on, dude. But MM Garza, again, thank you for all your support on today's stream. I greatly appreciate it. Really means a lot. We got a lot of great questions coming in, by the way. You guys are on fire today. Picky Piggy is with us. Ayo. It's great that Final Destination Bloodlines made a lot of money at the box office. Yeah, where is that 7th entry, by the way? Where is the announcement on that? Man, they got to make one. We've had producer Craig Perry and co-director Adam Stein tease it multiple times now. We know 7's coming, but I just don't think they want to announce it yet until they have like a full-fledged idea. But like, dude, there's a saying that says strike while the iron is hot, and that iron is blazing right now. So I'm really hoping that we can get some sort of announcement towards 7 sometime soon. Even though the thing with this franchise is if they announce it in a year from now, I bet fans will still be excited. I guarantee it, because holy shit, Final Destination Bloodlines, I've never seen hype for a movie like that before. That was wild. Marley Kai 2000 is saying, Jake, I am here. What is your favorite movie fight scene? What is up, Marley Kai? I'm here too. How's it hanging? My favorite movie fight scene, probably in The Matrix, when like towards the end of the film, where Keanu takes the guns through the metal detector or whatever, and they're just shooting in that room, and debris is flying everywhere. That's the best fight scene of all time. I'll die on that hill. Greatest just gunfight maybe ever. I don't think anything tops it. Gina, my chunky Jordy, what's up? Don't forget to send some love to the like button. Appreciate that. Means a lot. Thanks for being here, Gina. Welcome in, welcome in. Mick Ducky is saying, I think that Scream should do a long one-shot take, like in Halloween 2018. I think it could become a memorable scene and may make the killers seem dangerous if it's used to take out neighbors. I would love to see some sort of, technical sophistication with some shit like that. That scene is such a big standout, not just because it's a one take, but it's like, dude, that's fucking hard to do, man. Like a one take that lasts multiple minutes like that, man. Hard thing to choreograph, hard thing to just coordinate in general. Scream could do more than just have a really cool story. It could also just have some like technical aspects that are fun. I actually appreciated the fact that they shot Scream 6 on spherical lenses opposed to Panavision, like anamorphic, like literally every other Scream movie. And like, I think I prefer like the anamorphic lenses. I think that looks better personally, but it did give Scream 6 a different vibe, a different look to it, because they used like different kinds of lenses, and I thought that was kind of cool. I appreciated that. I don't mind the switch up, as long as you have a good reason to do it. Madison Kazmarski, my beautiful fiance, is hanging out with us. Hello, poop lady. How are you? Hope you're doing good at work. I'm really excited to see you this weekend. We are, her and I are moving in together very soon, in case you were wondering what the hell's going on behind me with all these boxes. We're packing up, getting ready, and we're moving into a new apartment very soon. So you will see a whole new KillJoy Jake set. I'm trying to mention it as often as humanly possible, because I imagine that at some point someone's going to click on a video within the next like 3 months or so and be like, holy shit, what happened to his backdrop? That's crazy. But it's going to be something a little cooler than what you're looking at right now, because this is, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting sick of this. Like, I'm just like, it's cool. I love the posters. You got like the different colors, white wall, black wall, cool, whatever. The corner. I tried to do the corner thing with this room. I don't know. I'm sick of it. I want something else. So we're moving on. We're making something else happen here. One more thing, and then we're going to get to these super chats. Raptor Crashers. Hey, yo, my friend, what's up? Thanks for being a channel member. Saying, how much money does Garza 1997 have? Hey, we appreciate them, and we appreciate the support of the page. It's really going to help with the move, keeps the lights on here, and is going to make the set way fucking cooler within a couple of weeks here, let me tell you. David Primero, thank you for the 5, saying, if I would make Scream 7, it would be about bullying and the effects of it. I want the killer to be someone bullied by the group and tries to fight back. That could be interesting. You kind of have a villain who's a little sympathetic. That always works for me, dude. I'm a sucker for that. Even when it's not done very well, I'm just like, man, I feel bad for this guy, you know? He's doing bad things, but but I feel for him. I can relate to the guy. I get why he would go there. I think I don't even mind that being a motive for a Ghostface killer. I mean, let's just be real here. Scream movies are marketed towards a younger audience. You know what I mean? To have any sort of themes of things that could relate to younger adults, maybe even teenagers, I feel like that works. That's going to work really well. Maybe even better than most of the topics that this franchise has gotten themselves into. I think you got to have the movie talk in there too, but like, it's not bad to have something like this. I was just talking about in my I Know What You Did Last Summer coverage that the new movie was really kind of devoid of an element like this. I really wanted some sort of relatability to the characters, and I feel like that was another aspect where I couldn't get into them. But that is something that the original has that this new movie doesn't. You know what I mean? It's like these are characters who are going from kind of like peaking in high school essentially to trying to move on into to college. And that's a struggle for literally anybody, no matter what your situation was in high school. I mean, it's a big change. It's a big, huge change in your life as a young adult, someone going from high school into the real world just in general, whether that's college to a job, no matter what. So I felt like that was a really relatable idea in I Know What You Did Last Summer, 1997, and we just took that out in the new one. It just kind of made me scratch my head. So to hit on something like that, something that a young audience can relate to, I feel like that would be a really effective model for the next Scream for sure. But David, thank you again for the 5. I like the idea of just something simple like that. Dude's he was pushed too far. Now he's killing people. I like that idea. Wes Carpenter Flicks, number 3 with the crown system, by the way. Time to gloat, my friend. Thank you for the 5, saying, same year, make and model from Scream 96. I'm using it for retro gaming, playing VHS and content for Instagram. So pumped. Dude, nice, man. Oh my God, that's sick. Yeah, I got to see some video of that, man, because I used to have a CRT television, and now I don't have it anymore. So I miss it. We used to play what was it, PlayStation 2 on that all the time, man, and it was just like, oh man, it was sick. That and GameCube, it's not the same. It's not the same on a regular TV. You know, it's not the same. There's a certain vibe to it. It's sick as fuck, my friend. But rock on, have so much fun using that, and it's really cool that it's the same model from Scream 96. So yes, literally the one that that took out Stu. I love it, my friend. Thank you again for the 5, Wes Carpenter. We also got Gina just filling out the super chat goal with with 3 separate $1 super chats. Thank you so much, Gina. Holy shit. Guys, this is like the second stream in a row we have hit our super chat goal within the first 30 minutes. I appreciate you guys so much. Seriously, the love from the community is just keeping this page alive through the summertime. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Superhero months like this, it's always tough to keep a horror page alive. So I greatly appreciate it, maybe more than ever. So thank you guys for the support. Spooky season is upon us, and it's only going to get crazier around here, let me tell you. David Primero, you're gonna hate me so much. I'm so sorry, man. I've just read the first sentence of that, and I'm like, fuck. I have not watched Funhouse yet. I swear to God I'm going to. It's been like I said, we're moving. I got weird film projects on the back burner. I'm running 2 YouTube channels. I've just been a busy guy, but I promise I'm going to watch that ASAP. I'm going to make it happen. You know what? Fuck it. I'm watching it tonight. I got to get one thing done after this stream, but I'm not kidding. I'm watching it right after that. I'm going to circle. I literally, dude, you're not going to believe me, but I literally have it in my notes down here. I just circled it 100 times. So if I don't do it, you can legally kick my ass. That's where we're at. David, you're also saying hopefully we get Rebecca Gayheart back in the new Urban Legend. I know also you need to check out The Wisher. Dude, Rebecca Gayheart coming back, that would be sick. I would not be against that at all if she played her same character, honestly. Fuck it. I mean, why not? That would be fun. I just love the urban legend movies, whatever they end up doing. I hope it's good. I hope it rocks. Hope it respects that original, and maybe sheds a light on urban legend a little more. I feel like that's one that doesn't get talked about as much as like a Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer, and it should, because man, I'm gonna be real. I think outside of Scream, what has the best twist of these like 90s murder mysteries? It's urban legend all day. I mean, without a doubt in my mind, dude. That it floored me the first time I watched it. I'm just gonna be real. I was like, what? No way. So I love urban legend. Give me a new movie with another good twist, and I will be very, very, very happy. It's also got like the bloodiest and goriest kills of those movies. Like I think better kills than even Scream, which hot take there, but yeah, I just ooh baby, it does it for me. Let me tell you, David. But dude, thank you for the 5. Appreciate it. More urban legend, make it happen, baby. 100 more movies. What would they do by that point? You know, when you get to like movie 20, like I feel like you're just out of ideas. You know, like what do you fucking do after that? Do you just start repeating yourself? You know, do you just remake the same movie over and over again with worse results? I don't know, man. Hey, we got some new people rolling in constantly through the chat. Appreciate y'all. Fragrances style with some sunglasses. This person's way cooler than me, I feel. You got some sick looking shades, my friend. What's up? Saying I still like the Final Destination Bloodlines better. That's probably my favorite of the 90s thousands horror flicks from this year that got continued. I would say Bloodlines easily one of my favorite movies of the year for sure. Banger. When is Wrong Turn coming back with a new one? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm a weirdo who actually really liked the 2021 movie. I feel like it's criminally underrated, doesn't get enough love. But I know a lot of people just really are kind of yearning for basically the original feel of the franchise. Go back to the cannibals, which I'm not against that either, man. But I just liked doing a different take in the 2021 movie. That was fun. Tid Morgan is saying, I watched Dangerous Animals last night. Absolutely loved it. Oh, I'm so glad you liked that one, dude. That's a top 10 horror movie of the year for me so far. Really great reinvention of the shark genre just in general. I think it's such a big standout in that department. For me, it's like there's Jaws, there's Deep Blue Sea, and then I feel Dangerous Animals. That's my top 3 shark movies of all time as of right now. Does it get better than that? I don't think so. Those 3 are like my absolute favorite from the whole genre. Some great stuff in Dangerous Animals. Couldn't recommend that one enough. Fort Misery Gaming is so it must be Fantastic Four Day or something. Is that coming out like on a Wednesday now? I've been seeing how some movies will drop on Wednesday opposed to Thursday. Is that coming? I don't know. Honestly, I haven't been keeping up with Fantastic Four anything. I wish I was. I just rewatched all 3 of the movies though. In my free time because they're on Disney Plus. They're free, which is why I watch them, Dave. Because I know you're gonna be like, "What the fuck, bro? Why didn't you watch the Funhouse?" It's $3. I'm cheap. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna watch it. I'm watching it tonight. I swear to God, I'm watching it tonight. But I did watch all 3 of the Fantastic Four movies again. And, you know, my take, I guess, on this new one, it looks like that they're doing the Silver Surfer movie, but better. Because, like, they don't even really have Galactus in that movie, which is like, what the fuck? Like, why is he not in this? He's kind of in it, but he's also kind of not in it, which is boring. So I'm really hoping that this new Fantastic Four does that story, but better. That's what I'm hoping for. I also, I don't know why Pedro Pascal is getting so much hate right now. He's getting like an insane amount of hate. I don't get it. I've yet to really. The only performance of his I didn't like was in Wonder Woman 84. That's it. That's the only property of his I dislike personally. So he can be in as many movies as he wants. He was awesome in Eddington too. Another really good role for him. Are you excited for Galactus to have a bigger kill count than Jason? Yeah, I think I know where this movie is going. Trailer kind of spoiled a whole lot of what's happening there, but I'm still excited for it. And I just saw someone say that they feel that Rise of the Silver Surfer is underrated. It was a good movie. It was a good movie, but again, just like it's the Galactus story, but they're not doing anything with Galactus. I feel like this movie could do it better. Rise of the Silver Surfer, I think it's better than most of the superhero sequels we get nowadays. I don't know, maybe a hot take, but I liked both of those movies quite a bit. Fant4stick, however, the Miles Teller movie, whatever. I watched that for the first time last night, by the way. Not the most awful thing I've ever seen. Like I've had people describe it to me, but like, it wasn't great. It was okay. It's whatever. Gory Tiger's hanging out with us saying, what up? What up, Gory Tiger? Yo, yo, yo. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for talking some horror. Picky Piggy is saying, when does spooky season start? It's spooky season all year round here. Let's just be real. But I feel like it kind of starts in like August. I feel like August time is when it starts to pick up. As soon as those leaves start to change color and they start hitting the ground, that's when I feel like just all the spooky vibes start to happen. We're already seeing a bunch of Halloween shit in stores, by the way. I don't know if you guys have gone to any department store within the last week or so, but ooh, this is my favorite time of the year when they start to like push it out, you know? It's like, oh man, let's go, baby. You know what? Actually, here's when spooky season starts. The moment you see a Spirit Halloween. The moment one of those opens up, bam! It's it's spooky season, baby. So that's my take, at least. That's how I'm feeling about it. Ty Lee is with us saying, Jake, have you seen The Eyes of My Mother? It reminds me of Pearl, just crazier. I recommend it. It's on Tubi. Ooh, I'll have to see. Eyes of My Mother. I love the title, dude. That's gross. Creepy, too. You know, if I can't stress this enough. If a horror movie has a good title, like, I'm gonna watch it, even if it sucks. Like, if you had a good title and a decent concept, like, man, you're probably onto something. At the very least. So I'm down just from the title alone. And it's like Pearl. That's one of my favorite movies of 2022. So yeah, rock on. Joe, I would do an Eddington review. I don't know when I have time to fit it in my schedule. And like, this is not me blaming people. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's the YouTube algorithm. That's what it is. I just cannot get a review to get past like a certain amount of views. Unless it's like a big movie, I just, nobody watches it, which makes me so sad. So maybe I'll do like a very quick Eddington review, like maybe like a short go up, that'll go up this week. I'm doing a bunch of shorts today responding to channel members. So leave me a good comment if you want me to make a short out of your comment. I got a few lined up already. But my one big thing I'll say about Eddington that I really loved is I'm hearing a lot of people say that it's like it's a centrist take on everything going on. I strongly disagree. There's a very clear message being painted in the film that I liked. And it's one of those movies where if you get the joke, you're going to love it. If you don't get the joke, you might be confused. But there's the whole movie is just one big joke. That's what it is. I'm just going to be so real with you. It is one very big political joke, and you're either going to laugh at it or you're not going to get it at all. I just feel like there's really no in between with that one. But I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. I was in tears laughing by the ending. The end scene is just. It's one big. I mean, it's just one big joke. It's one big dark joke. That's really all it is. And I just I had a very good time with it. It's a very different movie for Ari Aster, but I do feel that it has a lot of his staples, things that you want to see in an Ari Aster movie. I feel like it's more of a horror film than people are expecting it to be. They're not really marketing it that way, but man, there's blood and guts. There's a lot of brutality to it, and I also feel that there's it's maybe even more horror than Beau is Afraid was, where Beau is Afraid is like this like thriller that's anxiety inducing. This movie, on the other hand, it's a little more Western horror with like a political edge to it. It's not super in your face. I don't know. It's more like I say that and I think people are going to be like turned off. They're like, I don't want a movie preaching to me the entire time. That's not the vibe of this movie. It's just, it's one big dark joke. You will have fun with this movie if you get the joke. That's what I'll say. I'll shut up. But banger of a movie. I liked it quite a bit. Have you seen Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon? I have. Very fun movie. Very, very underrated meta slasher from the 2000s. I like it quite a bit. I think that maybe it's a little lesser than something like Cabin in the Woods or Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which is why maybe it doesn't get the same amount of love. But I feel like it's like right up there with those movies. I feel like it's it might even have a better like take on the genre than those films, but I feel like it's maybe just a little slower. There's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like it's a little easier to watch something like Cabin in the Woods or Tucker and Dale versus Evil, where Rise of Leslie Vernon, still a really good idea, probably the best idea out of all three of those movies, but the one that unfortunately doesn't get enough love. Unpaid movie critic is saying, how do you feel? Oh my God, I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at a super chat. I forgot. Samantha Robinson, thank you for the $1. I really do appreciate it a ton. Same to you, Reese Daniels, for the 2. Appreciate you guys for the support. It means a lot. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for keeping it spooky around here. Back to this, though, unpaid movie critic saying, how do you feel about the Sinister films? I love the Sinister movies. I even love the second one. I think the first one is way better. But I think the second one's not bad. I think it's a fun watch. Sinister, the first one, I think it's arguably the best Blumhouse movie. It's terrifying. And it's kind of got this, it's got the staples of everything you want from a good Blumhouse movie. It's got like a creepy guy walking around, supernatural as fuck, jump scares, great performances. What more could you want from a Blumhouse movie? I don't know. That to me is like that's cream of the crop right there, baby. That and Insidious, it's like it doesn't get better than that. Those are your best Blumhouse movies without a doubt. And Paranormal Activity I'd throw up there too, for sure. But lots to love all around. The other thing I'll say about Sinister, get a little more detail oriented. It has one of the most brutal jump scares in all of film. The lawnmower scene floored me the first time I saw it. I was way too young watching that one. Whew, man. Still just thinking about that. That's crazy. When will I be reviewing Bambi the Reckoning? You won't have to wait too much longer. Friday morning. I did not get a screener for this one, even though I asked, but I never got a response. Jagged Edge usually hits me up about these kind of things, but not this time. So, hey, Jagged Edge, hit me up. Bambi screener. Let me see it. I would have given you a crazy quote, guys. I would have said something about like Bambi's gonna make you put his horn in your dick hole or something. I would have given you guys some shout outs, but no screener. So just saying, Jagged Edge. That was a fun period for this page, talking about how Winnie the Pooh will make you come, honey. That was a really fun little couple of months there. But yeah, I will be doing a big review on Bambi the Reckoning this Friday. So I'm seeing it very early Thursday. Mr. Rick is hanging out with us saying, sorry, I'm late. Just got home. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do it, Mr. Rick. What's up, man? Welcome in. Bulltrack 28 saying, is Terrifier 4 confirmed already? It is confirmed, but we've had like no updates on it, which kind of bums me out. I do have a video coming out sometime likely next week, because I think I have this week kind of figured out already. I'm going to do a Scream update tomorrow, Bambi on Friday, and then I might have a Saturday video. No promises, but I had a thought for something I could do this weekend. But next week, I want to do a Terrifier 4 video. I had a little thought pop up into my little brain here. Want to recap some of the smaller updates that like don't render a whole video, but I'll probably talk about how like Rhea Ripley has been like just like basically begging to be a part of this franchise. Some of the little things that Damien Leone has talked about within the past couple of months. It's all small, like it's nothing that renders a whole video. You know what I mean? It's all stuff, all little things. But then I have another thing I want to throw out there sometime soon. Joe Bamba is saying first third of Eddington was basically boilerplate. Last 2/3 were very fun and intriguing. To say the movie is bad is sad. I agree. I think it's a very fun movie. I had a very fun time with it, which I wasn't expecting. Again, Ari Aster movies are usually like, he usually makes movies that make the audience feel like they're hated by the director, which is like, that's what I was expecting. I was ready for a movie that was just going to kick my ass emotionally. And this movie does, but it's not as bad as something like Beau is Afraid. Like, I think if you watch Beau is Afraid, you're just done for the day. I watched that movie and I went home and I just sat on my couch like this for like 4 hours straight. That was an upsetting watch. As someone with anxiety, that movie just hit very hard. I was like, I'll never watch it again. I'll never watch Beau is Afraid again. It is a one-time watch for me, but I will recommend it to literally everybody. David Primero throwing 5 out there. Thank you for the support. Saying, any news of They Follow? Sequel to It Follows. This reminds me of Smile, but a different approach. Hopefully they bring back Valentine. So underrated. We haven't really had a ton of updates. I remember like last year they said it was supposed to come out, and like since then, no word. I hope it's still happening, but I'm a weirdo who kind of feels like that could be a one-off. Like, I don't know if we need a sequel to It Follows personally, but Last I heard, like, yeah, everything was still happening. Everything was still moving on that project. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that movie. I'm not going to say no to more. Last we heard that, I believe that Disaster Piece was gonna do the music. That might've been a rumor, but I feel like there's two big things you got to do. You got to have Micah Monroe come back, and you got to have Disaster Piece do the music. There's no way around it. If they don't do those two things, I'm gonna be upset. I'm telling you that right now. It's gonna be a lesser film if they don't have those two things happening in it. So I know that Micah Monroe is confirmed. Is Disaster Piece confirmed? That I'm not 100% on off the top of my head, but I really hope those two things happen. So if we get a sequel, I just hope it's done well. I'm rooting for it. But again, the ending to It Follows is, in my opinion, one of the very best ambiguous endings to a horror film. I would hate to get that ruined by the existence of a sequel. So I'm on the fence if I want a sequel or not. I've said this before on the page. I'll say it again. It Follows, I feel, is one of my favorite horror films of all time. It's a top 10 for me. I think it's got a great soundtrack, just a great concept that is so bizarre and executed so well. I think it's scary as fuck, without like too much gore or anything. It's a great movie. I don't know. I loved it so much, I actually went to Michigan to go see the filming locations. So put it that way. I'm obsessed with that film. I think it's just so well done. Really, really interesting, weird little movie. But some good stuff there, David. Thank you for the 5. Hopefully we get a big update soon. Definitely one I want to, I would love to do some sort of big video on at some point. Reese Daniels is saying Wes Craven's New Nightmare definitely 100% real life based, and having to play Nancy and using her child. You really like that one? That's probably my favorite Nightmare sequel. I think it's just Wes Craven, I feel, is the only person to make a really good Nightmare movie, which is probably a hot take. I want to like the Nightmare sequels so bad. I've tried watching them multiple times. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just can't get into them. Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, I think is a masterpiece. New Nightmare is just a crazy new take on the same concept, but, doing it from the perspective of the real life actors. Okay, fuck yeah, Wes Craven. It's fun, it's meta, maybe a little slow, but kills are great. Robert Englund, one of his best performances, I think, in that entire franchise, too. Kind of playing a real life version of himself and the new version of Freddy, which is cool. So, I don't know, lots to love. Cryptic Haze is saying, sadly anymore, it feels like we're seeing the downfall of Blumhouse. Hopefully they come back. I couldn't agree more. I really just want some more love. I want something really good from Blumhouse again, man. When I was growing up, it was like, oh, what's the new Blumhouse movie? We're going to see it. That they were regarded very highly in the 2010s. And I just feel like there was a certain point where they just kind of fell off, and it was just like, ugh, man. It's really been this decade that I feel a lot of Blumhouse movies have just been kind of cashing in, whatever, not really putting out a whole lot of quality. Every now and then you'll get something good, and I will always sing their praises when they do put something good out, but man, it's few and far between, unfortunately. Bobby, thanks for being a member, dude. What's up? What's up? Jake, hope you're doing well, man. Same to you, Bobby. Yo, yo, yo. What's up? What's up? Welcome in. Thanks for hanging out with us. Mateo is seeing Together tonight. I'm jealous. I thought I was going to go see it Monday night, but instead it was The Home with Pete Davidson. I drove 30 minutes to watch this movie, and it was not worth it. But my God, I still had a good time. I can't say I didn't have a good time with it, because man, it is a so bad it's good to a T. But if you want some of that energy this weekend, I recommend it. Well, I guess we have Bambi the Reckoning, which kind of feels like a similar boat. So bad it's good. So we're going to have a whole lot of that in theaters this weekend. A whole lot of those vibes. Casey Mack is also with us. What's up? What's up? Are you looking forward to VHS Halloween? Yes, I'm the world's biggest VHS fan. I've seen every single VHS movie at least 10 times, and I'm so serious. This is a movie that I'm going to watch probably 3 times the week it comes out. And then I'm going to buy Blu-ray, 4K, Steelbook, whatever, and watch it a million more times. I have seen VHS Viral at least 10 times. This is not a good film, and I've seen it 10 times. I love VHS. It's one of my favorite horror franchises. I could watch them, like 20 years from now, I will still be watching them. I'm going to be like a 40-year-old man sitting in my house with a big beer belly, and I'm just going to be watching the VHS movies still. They're probably going to be on VHS fucking 15 by then, and I'm going to be just as excited. So God, I really hope they just keep making these movies forever, because I am over the moon about VHS Halloween. Let's go, baby. Make it happen. Unpaid Movie Critic is saying, do you think they should make a third Sinister film? Yes, I think that's a franchise we could totally revisit. I know that after 2 didn't really do well and wasn't received well by critics, they kind of were just like, okay, let's just kind of push that to the side, and Scott Derrickson moved on. But now, you know, he's had a lot of hits recently. A lot of money makers between The Black Phone, and he's got a lot of other really cool projects coming out soon, which is exciting. Doctor Strange, also a bit of a hit after Sinister came out, so a bit of a hit. It's an MCU movie. Yeah, all of them are hits. But I think that, honest to God, that would be a fun franchise for him to revisit. Let's see what Black Phone 2 does. You know, let's see what that does, and see if we get like a third one of those, whatever. And then maybe we'll get I don't know, maybe we'll revisit Sinister at some point. I mean, dude, with Insidious banging on, you know, we have two new Insidious movies on the way. Insidious 6, not talking about the Spider-Man villain group. Insidious 6 is on the way, and we also have a movie called Threads, which is a spin-off for the franchise. So the fact that they don't bring Sinister back, I'd be shocked. I'd be majorly shocked. It's a franchise that has a lot of love still, and I feel like a lot of people are coming around to the second movie. I just saw Ty Lee say that he really liked Sinister 2. Honestly, it's not that bad of a movie. I don't think it's not unwatchable by any means. It's a really solid sequel. It's just not great. You know, I feel like that first one is like a near masterpiece. The sequel is just okay. It's all right. It's all right for what it is. I agree. Casey Mack, yeah, it just wasn't great. You know, it's okay. Fine watch. I think it hits on a lot of the things I do love about the original film, which is cool. They bring back James Ransome's character in more of a lead role, which is fun. But it does lose something without is it Ethan Hawke in that movie? Yeah, it loses something without him. Max Black is hanging out with us, saying hello. I'm back. You're back in black, Max. What's up? Welcome in. Kenny is saying, have you watched Weapons yet? If so, thoughts? I know an early screening happened earlier this week, and I was not able to make it to that, which makes me very sad. I really want to see it, and I don't want to get it spoiled, because we already got people talking about it online, and I'm like, please, I'm not even really covering Weapons, because I want to go into that movie totally blind. I just want to be shocked. It's a movie that I'm so excited for, because it's so mysterious. I feel like I really do not want to know too much about it. I was blown the fuck away by Barbarian in 2022. To this day, I think it's still one of my favorite horror films to come out this decade. And Weapons is a movie I've been looking forward to since the moment I walked out of that theater. I'm like, whatever Zach Krager does next, I'm there day one. So I'm really excited. I'm hearing that some people even like it more than Barbarian, which is that's a big thing for me. Am I going to like this one better? I don't know. We'll see. Casey Max feeling really positive about Black Phone 2. I am too. I really think it's going to be something special, dude. The trailers have done nothing but promise a fucking sick sequel. And I don't feel like too much is given away about it either. Like, I don't feel like I know 100% what I'm getting myself into. Just a Freddy Krueger reinvention of the grabber, which is cool. Because as we remember from the last movie, the supernatural was something that aided our main characters last time around. Now it's being weaponized by the grabber. So now what does it look like when we have an actually supernatural antagonist in this franchise? How does that change everything when it's kind of the script is flipped a little bit? Will this be a darker movie for that reason? Dude, I don't know, but I'm here for it. I would be devastated if one of those kids died too. I'm just telling you that right now. I would be in fucking tears because they were so sweet in the previous film and I was rooting for them big time. And then just to see them go and see Finney or Gwenny get stabbed or something, I would be heartbroken. I would really be heartbroken. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in this new movie. I'm ready for it, baby. Let's go. I got to watch Bone Hill Road tonight. You know, that's another one that's like, I'm also circling it. I'm making it happen. Madison's going to be mad at me for watching horror movies and not packing up my shit. But you know what? Movies are always more important. That's what, enough. No, no, I'm kidding. Madison, please don't be mad. but I'm gonna watch these. I'm gonna pack and watch these movies. There we go. I'm gonna do both. I'm just crazy like that. Kenny is also saying, I think I told you before, I overappreciated Nightmare on Elm Street 2 for its homoeroticism. Liked the female co-lead too, but Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4 are tops for me in all their camptastic glory. I like most of Nightmare on Elm Street 3. I think most of 3 rocks. It's just the ending just kind of ruins it for me a little bit. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, I also have a big appreciation for exactly what you're talking about, Kenny. I mean, to do a movie like that in the mid 80s is bold. That's bold, and I have a lot of respect for it. So the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, I feel like it's one that we can't just completely shit on because it really does have a major footnote in the legacy just in general of horror. But man, I don't know. I feel like a lot of those movies have not aged very well. I mean, even in the original, I feel like there's some elements that are like, okay, I don't know if the acting's so fantastic here. You know what I mean? There's parts of it where it's like, ooh, but that original, it's still a classic. It's still great. I still love it. I watch it all the time. Fuck. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street's one I put on every year at least. I watch it once a year. Really fucking sick watch. And it's just, I think another thing that's so fun about it is it's like, I just want to see, I literally just want to see Freddy Krueger have so much fun running around killing people. He's just having a blast. I mean, that when he's chasing Tina in that movie and he's just like cutting off his fucking fingers, he's having the best Saturday night of his life. Like, that's what I love about Art the Clown. It's what I love about Freddy Krueger. And I don't know. I just want to see, definitely want to see more of that. In future entries. Reese Daniels is throwing 5 out there. Thank you, Reese. Appreciate it. Would love to see you do a new Nightmare, and also a Dylan's New Nightmare with Robert as Freddy in new, and the different guy was awesome in it. It's underrated. Oh yeah, Dave McRae. Yeah, he plays Freddy in there. He's awesome. Great. Love his channel. Love his take on Freddy. It's awesome. Dylan's New Nightmare rocked, man. That was I think one of the better fan films I've seen, especially in Nightmare on Elm Street land, in that universe. Oh, without a doubt. No, I really liked that one quite a bit. I never got around to making a review of it. That was another one I just kind of missed out on. There's so much to fucking talk about. There's always so much to talk about. It's always tough to get to everything. Just want to say Madison is so sweet putting this in the chat. She's saying, that's fucking bullshit, and you know it. You are terrible at multitasking, and it will just turn into you just watching movies. She's so sweet to me, everybody. My lovely and very sweet, eloquently spoken fiance, everybody. Cryptic Haze is saying, I know this is going to be a weird take, but I have a soft spot for A Nightmare on Elm Street 5. That's the Super Freddy one, right? I got nothing on that one, man. I'm so sorry. Nightmare 5 was rough. I want to love all of them, but I just don't. For Misery Gaming is saying Jason movies don't really age well either. Those to me are like, I can laugh at them though. Like Freddy movies, I just feel like I'm bored. Like I'm just like, at a certain point, I'm just like, oh my God, like let's get to the end of this. A lot of the Jason movies I can laugh at though. I don't know. I'm very picky when it comes to camp. Like it's got to be done a certain. If I'm not cracking up the whole time, I'm not with it. You know what I mean? I can watch it so bad it's good, but it's got to be fucking hilariously bad. Or I'm just like, I'm not vibing with it. Wes Carpenter Flicks, you've never seen the VHS movies or The Black Phone. Oh man, so we're just talking a bunch of nonsense to you. Dude, I recommend, honestly, the only bad starting place in the VHS franchise is Viral. Just don't start with that one. Like, do that one last. Watch any of the other ones first, and I think you'll have a good time. I really strongly recommend starting with this new run, though. I feel like they're a little more digestible. Like I would start with VHS 94. I feel like that's the best place to start in the franchise. Then maybe revisit 1 and 2. I think there's an argument to say that 1 or 2 is like one of the best, one of the very best in the franchise. I personally like 94 and maybe like maybe Beyond more than the original 2 movies, but 1 and 2 I think have some of the better segments without a doubt. But I don't know. I think 94, man, that's the best place to start with VHS. Black Phone, just watch it. It's a great watch. Real easy watch too. Really fun. Got some weird things going on in the first act, but once you get to the basement in that movie, it takes off. For Misery Gaming is saying, Jake, do you think the Stu Train people will be upset if they show Stu is only in a flashback and they confirm he's dead? I mean, they've kind of already confirmed he's dead. You're never not going to have Stu Train people. I mean, come on now. But and why would, my thing about Scream is why would they ever confirm that Stu Macher is dead? We have people constantly talking about that all the time, and there's no better press than people talking about your movie all the time, especially with Scream. So I don't think they'll ever really confirm he's dead. You know what I mean? They had dead above him in the in Scream 6, but they had that little question mark posted on there, so people will always find a way to say, oh well, hang on, maybe he's still alive. And I feel like that's going to be something we see in the movies for the rest of time, because why wouldn't they? Again, if there's something you can constantly be talking about with some horror franchise that's still making movies and still making money, yeah, just keep that going. It would, honestly, they'd be shooting themselves in the foot to ever confirm him being dead. So I don't think it'll ever happen. But I do believe that Stu is only going to be utilized in flashbacks for this movie. And that's, again, I've said this before, but I feel like it bears repeating. Just, that's not me with a bias, because I just don't like the idea of Stu being alive this entire time. That's just a very genuine take on things I know about the film, things I've heard through the grapevine. I know that we're revisiting a certain location in universe, so I feel like it's inevitable. It's inevitable that it's probably going to be a flashback. I also, make it make sense how Dewey's coming back, Roman's coming back. How does that all make sense? And then we also have, are they still alive in universe? There's so many, there's a lot of questions, a lot of questions I would have if, Stu was alive and then Roman's alive and Dewey's alive. It's like, whoa, okay, maybe one character could still be alive. That's one thing, but man, to go so far as to say that all these characters are still alive, it's like, man, that's gonna be a whole sequence of explaining some shit. I don't know. I just, with Scream, man, I think it's just what it comes down to is just keep it simple, keep it safe, keep it fun. Don't keep it safe. That's not. I'm quoting Lord of the Rings is what I'm doing. Is it secret? Is it safe? I just watched that movie again. Really fun watch. Infinite Sky's hanging out with us saying, have you seen the trailer for Keeper yet? Yes. Keeper's a movie I'm really excited for. Coming from Osgood Perkins, who has been such a hit or miss director with me. I either really love what he's getting himself into, or I'm just not vibing with it at all. So I'm really excited to see where Keeper falls for me. Is this going to be one that's a banger? Is this one going to hit? Or maybe not so much? We'll see. We'll see sometime soon. Wes Carpenter saying, Jesus, how many are there? There are 7 going on 8 VHS movies, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. The last 4 films have broken records over at Shudder, streaming records, that is. Just a lot of really exciting stuff there. Josh, I just saw Josh Petrino's hanging out with us. I just saw he posted a chat. How would you feel if they reset the timeline for Scream? Josh, I don't know why, but your chats aren't popping up for me like where I'm looking. They're popping up over here, but they're not popping up there. That's bizarre. But hello, Josh, if you're out there, or maybe it's just the ghost of Josh. How would I feel if they reset the timeline? I feel like Scream is due for it at a certain point. There's been times, especially in the last 2 movies, where I just feel like there's things that aren't adding up based on shit that happened in the previous films. It's nothing like that ruins those movies for me or anything like that, but I think it would be really refreshing for them to just kind of start with new characters in whatever they do next. Maybe this could be like the sunset of the Sidney Prescott story, and then just that's why. I'm missing chats because I don't have live chat on. Thank you, Madison. Appreciate that. I'm like, why am I not seeing his chats? That's bizarre. I always forget that. Madison is always here to remind me, though. Thank God. I just feel like, yeah, I think we need to reset the timeline at some point, and I don't think people want to hear that, because that's something that a lot of folks really feel is a strong element to Scream, that they've been able to do that for so many movies. But I think it's just going to aid the franchise overall to just reset and do something a little simpler, because every movie is getting a little more convoluted, and that's going to become a major problem at a certain point. Could Scream 7 be the tipping point to where it's just, okay, we're getting too outrageous, we got to just reset? I wouldn't even mind if they did like a Halloween 2018 style thing where they just do a direct continuation to the original, like that happened 30 years ago and Ghostface is back now. I really wouldn't mind that at all. I feel like you could do so much fresh stuff with the legacy characters, especially if you really wanted to continue that story in a different direction. But I don't know, man. I'm getting to the point with Scream where I respect the fact that it's been ongoing this entire time, but like, this is a murder mystery series, you know? It's like, how do you keep bringing back the same people over and over and over again, surviving different murderers? How do you make that fun? How do you continuously make that fun? Is it going to get to a point where it's just frustrating, you know what I mean? It's just not really a murder mystery thing anymore. Is it just about nostalgia baiting? I don't know, man. I really want to see Scream just take a simpler approach with a future movie at some point. We'll see. We'll see what they end up doing. But I just want a straight up Ghostface running around killing people in a small town. Again, that's what I'm looking forward to with the future of Scream. And I don't think 7's gonna be that, but I think I'm still gonna hopefully enjoy it. We'll see. We'll see what it's all about. Something I've learned about horror franchises, especially after watching 28 Years Later, is that it's not always about getting what you want from a franchise. Sometimes it's just about executing something really well, whatever that ends up being. And maybe that's what Scream 7 could be. Maybe this is a really well executed story with Sidney Prescott that we've come up with. You know, maybe this was maybe this was one of those things where we went from kind of a disaster in the franchise, having to basically start from the ground up again, and we took it down a path that is something that needs to be told in Sidney's story. We'll see. We'll see. I'm staying optimistic for now, but I would be really bummed if this movie sucks, bringing back Sidney Prescott and not telling a good story with her, who is in my opinion like the best final girl of all time. Come on now, we got to do a good story with her. Ty is saying you could do a top 5 of each year or something when we vote or have a bracket tournament. Wait, hang on now. Jake, did you already do a top 10 of the decade already? It's literally halfway through the 2020s. I should do that. I've been thinking about doing that video actually for some time, and I just haven't got around to it. That would be a fun one. I have an idea of what my top 10 of the decade would be. I definitely have like 5 or 6 movies that would be on there, but really fleshing that out would be tough. I like, just off the top of my head, I know Barbarian would be on there. I know Terrifier 2 would be on there. I know what would be on there? The Substance would totally be on there. I'm trying to think what else I would have to be on that list. There's so many good movies that have come out in the last like 4 or 5 years. Tough to say, man. Tough to say. I'd really have to think about that one. That would be I'd have to sit there and just look at all the movies I've watched since 2020. I feel like Invisible Man I'd put on. I really liked Invisible Man. That stands out still from 2020. Ty is saying it could be a tier maker list. That could be fun. I haven't done one of those in a while. I'm wanting to do one of those again too. Okay. I'll you know what, Ty, I'm gonna write that down. Tier list of the decade. Because I could do more than 10. That's another thing too. I feel like there's more than 10 movies I'd want to talk about with a video like that. What else do we got here? Billy Boy is saying, Jake, I just came back from the Superman. It was cinema, a pure cinema. I still got to see it, dude. I just have not had the time to go to the theater and check that one out. Definitely one I want to see too. I really think that James Gunn has made some of my favorite superhero movies of the last like couple of years or so. So I was really excited for this one. Can't wait to see what it's all about. Beer Belly Angler is saying, I've heard nothing but bad things about I Know What You Did Last Summer, so I'm waiting for streaming. Was it that bad? I personally feel, yes, it was that bad. I really I did not like it. There was, honest to God, it's one thing if I just didn't like a movie. Like, who cares? I would just give it like a 5 out of 10. Just wasn't really for me. Maybe there's other people who could really vibe with this one. I walked out of that movie and I'm like, it just felt like an incompetent, like straight to streaming movie. Like that, I think that's my big problem with it. There was multiple lines of dialogue from Danica that are inaudible. Like you can't, like there's no way I picked up what she was trying to say. Jokes that fell flats, like just some really not so great writing. It was an incompetent film. And to me, that's just, that's a big problem. That's a real big problem in my opinion. I just really wish that if it at least had that, I would not have given it the scathing review I did. But it's like, man, I just can't believe that they didn't even do multiple takes for some of these lines where, especially Madeline Klein is just rushing through what she's saying. I mean, I don't know. It was a very weird film. I wanted to give it some more props and some more love. I respect some of the things it did, but ultimately it's just not a movie that I feel was done very well. I've said my piece on this film, though. I feel like I'm just kind of done talking about it. Josh, did I like Until Dawn? I liked Until Dawn maybe more than most people did. This was one that I'm still championing months later. I thought it was fun. Is it a good adaptation of the video game? Not really, but I think as a standalone movie, it's cool as fuck. I think it weirdly works better as a sequel to Cabin in the Woods than it does to an adaptation to Until Dawn. I had a fun time with it, man. I thought it was cool. Some nice running gags, some cool creature designs, some brutal kills. I had fun with it, man. Is it a masterpiece? No, but it's probably one of the better popcorn flicks of the year. I mean, I'd put that up there with like it's in my like top 15 of the year, Until Dawn. It doesn't break my top 10, but like I really enjoyed it. Thought it was a fun watch. Casey Mack, Hereditary, I believe that was 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think that would be this decade. Hereditary, I'd probably, I'm not gonna lie, that might be my top 10 of the 2010s though. I think that's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen in theaters. That freaked me the fuck out. I didn't like it, which is why I liked it. I know, For Misery Gaming saying, you haven't seen... I've seen The Fucking Home in theaters, but I haven't seen Superman. It's crazy. I think this weekend I might do a superhero double feature. I might go see Superman and Fantastic Four. I really want to see both of them. I'm actually quite excited. I'm not even like a big superhero guy, but I am excited for both of these movies. I grew up with the Fantastic Four, and rewatching those movies again earlier this week was a lot of fun. So I'm excited to see them kind of do the Silver Surfer, which is probably criminal, but I've never seen one of those. I'm excited to see what James Gunn is getting into there. I know the story. I know so many things about. No, I have. I always say this. I haven't seen like a standalone Superman movie. I've seen Batman versus Superman and Justice League. I have not seen. Some of the other more like just solo Superman movies. So I'm excited to see what's going on with all this. I think the new Steam is going to end with the torch kind of being passed down to her daughter, but it's the new Scream, I think you mean. I'm still leaving it open if they ever want to bring Sydney back. We're hearing a rumor that they're not going to pass the torch. This is a Sydney story, a bona fide Sydney story. And if that's true, I'm going to be very happy because I feel like they're marketing this movie as something. And if they deliver something else, that's never fun. That's never a good thing. That to me makes me, there's no faster way for me to dislike a movie more. To leave a bad taste in my mouth is when the marketing is promising a cooler product than what they ultimately deliver. I don't think it's not necessarily fair, right? I think we got to judge movies based on what they ultimately are. But man, if you advertise your movie as one thing and it's a lesser product, like it's a lesser idea, lesser concept, whatever, that to me bums me out. And this would be basically a spitting image of that same idea. To me, doing another passing of the torch film is like just doing Scream 5 again, and Scream 5 was already kind of just doing Scream 4 again. So I just really hope that they've committed to trying a different kind of format in the Scream universe with whatever 7 ends up being. Just don't do the same movie again. Try something else. My mic's cutting in and out. I'm not hearing anything on my end. Let me know if that's happening for everybody else. I'm going to turn on my audio. We're going to play that back. Scream universe with whatever 7 ends up being. Just don't do the same movie again. Try something else. That sounded clear to me. I don't, maybe I'm just crazy. Squidward Tennis Balls is saying, any horror movie recommendations for tonight? Thinking something newer, if you have anything in mind. Well, I hear this movie, The Funhouse, is really fucking good. And Bone Hill Road. I recommend these movies because people keep recommending them to me. I hear they're good. That's what I'm watching tonight, at least. So if you want to watch those too. Do you want something newer though? What's a good recommendation for something newer? I just read about this movie called The Appendage. I think it's just no the in front of there, just Appendage. That movie sounds insane. That's a 2023 movie, I believe. That's over on Hulu. And wow, holy shit. Something that sounds crazy, very darkly fun. Sounds like a kind of a horror comedy with some gross practical effects. That looks like a fun watch. I was doing a lot of research on that movie. That's one I really want to put on at some point. The director of that movie, Anna Zlakovic, is directing a short for the new VHS. So that's a movie I can't believe I missed. Definitely gonna have to pick it up sometime and watch it. According to Google, I Know What You Did Last Summer needs to make like 36 million to be profitable. It's currently at 26. It's, everyone's got a different number. The basis for if a movie is going to be profitable or not is you got to multiply the budget by 2.5. So 18 times 2.5 is 45 million. So it really needs to make somewhere close to that, if I'm being real. 36 million wouldn't be bad by any means, but like 2.5 is the typical number. I also, a really good example of a movie that got a sequel by hitting that exact goal was Thanksgiving. It made back exactly 2.5 times what its budget was, and they gave it a sequel. Positive reviews, made enough money, bam. The thing that's not in I Know What You Did Last Summer's corner is it's not getting positive reviews. So it's really going to have to make bank at the box office for a sequel to get made. So it's going to be tough. Reviews aren't everything, but it is when you're not making a ton of money. Because, let's look at The Nun. Remember The Nun from 2018? Most people want to forget it, but it did not get very good reviews, and yet they made a sequel because it made a fuck ton of money. Who cares? Who cares if it gets bad reviews? That's kind of where the Jurassic Park franchise is right now, too. Nobody cares about a Jurassic... Who cares what people think about Jurassic World Rebirth? It's making so much damn money. Doesn't matter. They're just going to make Jurassic Park films until just the juice has run up. How much money did that end up making? I'm actually kind of curious. Now I got to know. Because, man, I wouldn't mind another Jurassic World. That was fun. It made $656 million against a $180 million budget. I think that's profitable. Maybe. That's got to be profitable. So, yeah, we'll probably see another Jurassic World at some point. Why not? Why not? You're going to check out one of those movies, Squidward Tennis Balls? Good. I hope you enjoy. If you want some body horror, The Appendage is probably the way to go. Love that one. Samantha saying, Jake, honestly, I feel like they need to kill off Sydney in either Scream 7 or Scream 8. Honestly, how many people are trying to kill this person? I just feel like just retire the character, It's not that I don't like Sydney. It's just I feel like I would hate for Sydney to come back for a movie where she feels unnecessary. I would hate for her to come back for a story that isn't worth the quality of that character. That would suck. I would just be like, really? Like, that's how I feel about Laurie Strode at this point. And I'm just not so crazy about what they did with her in Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. They repeated the same storyline, but worse, in Halloween Kills from Halloween 2. And that was already something that was criticized back in the 80s. And for some reason, we decided to do it again in Halloween Kills. Huh? What? Why? Now, and then Halloween Ends is, maybe my least favorite appearance from Laurie ever across the whole timeline. And that's even including Resurrection, which is crazy. But I just do not. It's such an out of character performance from Jamie Lee Curtis. I just don't care for it. I wanted to like it more, but man, it just did not work for me. So I would hate to see the same thing happen to Sidney Prescott. Hopefully it doesn't, but we'll see. We'll see what's up. Sean P. Tattoos. Yo, what are you tattooing today, Sean? Let me know. I know you had a day off on Monday. Let me know what you're doing today. Saying, what's one movie you did not like as a kid but love now? Ooh, that's unfortunately, I have so many that are the opposite. Like, I can name like 100 movies that I liked as a kid that I don't now, but what's a movie that I liked I did not like as a kid, but I love now? I'm really trying to think. See, the problem with not having all the movies on the shelf is I have no cheat sheet. I just got to go off of the brain. That's all I got. Really trying to, what's a movie I did not like? I did not like the Chucky movies. I was terrified of them when I was a kid. And now I can eat them up like it's nothing. It was specifically Seed of Chucky. Like, I remember the scene. It's where Tiffany rips out the one dude's guts at the dinner table. I don't know why that scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid. I was like, oh my God, that's a little doll. What if that gets in my room? That scared the shit out of me, dude. I was horrified of Seed of Chucky, and now I'm like, that is the goofiest movie I think I've ever seen in my life. So I love it. Congo, Josh, Josh and I have a very sacred bond because of the movie Congo. This was a movie I loved as a kid, and I appreciate even more as as an adult. Congo is a criminally underrated masterpiece, and I think more people. I think the real requel we need is Congo 2. Or just call it Congo 2026. That's what we need. We need more Congo, man. Not enough of that. Jake, did you see the finale of The Bear? Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about The Bear. For Misery Gaming, I'm halfway through season 4. I'm not even kidding. And I've been so busy, I forgot about it. Whew, season 4 has been good too, man. Like, I haven't dropped it by any means because it was bad. Season 4, I feel like I like it better than season 3 already. But wow, I got to finish that. Yeah, I know that season 5 is happening, so whatever's going on here, something is moving forward. But yes, I got to finish that. Wow, totally forgot until you brought that up. I am so bummed I forgot about that. I love the Bear is probably one of my favorite shows on television right now. That is fucking banging. Josh is saying, can we do a watch along of Crazy Fat Ethel 2? Do I have to watch Crazy Fat Ethel 1? Yes. Yes, absolutely. Josh, I will always make watch along videos with you anytime. Anytime you want. I'll drop whatever I'm doing and we'll watch Congo again. I'm kidding. But Crazy Fat Ethel, I feel like this is probably a movie where I don't have to see the first one, but I think I need to. I think I need to know the lore of how we got to the sequel. Madison just came back saying she can't spend any more time on TikTok. There's a whole bunch of 1D edits and, oh God, One Direction edits and Liam edits since it's their 15-year anniversary. Madison is a big One Direction fan, and she is very, very broken up about Liam's passing. I don't even remember the guy's last name. I'm not a One Direction fan, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I am. But I will say, she's forced me to listen to so much Harry Styles. I think I'm at the point where I actually do really like his music, but but I feel very bad. I'm so sorry, Madison. I'm sorry you're crying at work. I'm just kidding. Josh is saying, no, you do not need to see one. I don't even know if there is a one. Wow. Okay. Now see, I'm intrigued, bro. What? You don't even know if there's a one? I'm looking it up. Hang on. This is a rabbit hole. Crazy Fat Ethel 2. Sorry. Oh man, it's good when it's only an hour long and it hardly has a Wikipedia page. That's how you know it's going to be good. It's a 1980, hang on, listen to this. It's a 1987 horror film that's a sequel to the 1975 film called Criminally Insane. I'm in, dude. I'm so in. Due to budget cuts, an asylum for the criminally insane releases the infamous Ethel Janowski. Okay. I'm in. Let's go. There's a great clip on YouTube. I will be watching it after this stream. I will be there day one. KC Mac, I'm so excited for Evil Dead Burns. I'm going to try to make, that's one I'm trying to make a video on for next week if I can. Because I am very excited for that movie. I need it in my eyeballs like fucking yesterday. I'm so glad that they're finally getting to production on this movie. I just love the Evil Dead Rise. And I wish we had a new Evil Dead movie this year, if I'm being totally real. I need, if every 2 years we can get a new Evil Dead movie, I will be very happy. I love the Evil Dead franchise, probably my favorite horror franchise out there. So really excited to see more of those coming along. Sloppenheimer, what up, dude? Getting sloppy out here, saying, I highly recommend Destination X. It's a show on Peacock that has Jeffrey Dean Morgan as the host. Oh man, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Anything with him in it, I'll watch. I will check that out. Okay. Destination X. I can't wait till we get towards Final Destination X. Can't wait for that movie. When we finally go to space. Something the fans all want. Also, speaking of Evil Dead, are you excited for Lee Cronin's The Mummy? Yes. Doing a horror take, a more horror take on The Mummy again after so many different incarnations where it was more like action adventure kind of vibes to it. That feels really refreshing. That's an interesting thing. it's interesting to look at those movies and say, we got to go back to old school Mummy. You know, we got to go back to what Universal Classic basically was trying to do with the character and make it something modern. That's refreshing to me. I like that quite a bit. That's a good franchise to modernize. I feel we've done it with so many different properties that I just feel like stories that have kind of been beat to death, you know. I mean, like the Wolfman, Dracula, the Mummy, we've been doing a lot of, Wolfman, Dracula, Frankenstein. We've been doing a lot of properties. There's so many different things with those stories, you know. But to do something weirder with the Mummy and maybe even Creature from the Black Lagoon, which apparently James Wan is getting himself into, that's exciting to me. That's like, these are stories that really don't have as much love, especially in the horror genre. And to do something new with that feels really fresh to me. I'm hyped. I'm very hyped to see what that's all about. Josh, I'm looking up clips for this all on YouTube after this stream. As soon as this is over, I gotta see what that's all about. Beer Belly Angler saying rest in peace, Ozzy. Dude, yeah, amen to that. It's brutal out there. It's what's going on? Ozzy's gone. I don't even know. The world is just a lot less cooler, I feel, without Ozzy. I just listened to his last album again too. Man, I listened to a couple things from him. I love the album No More Tears. I think it's just it's kind of a big comeback album for him in his career. Really solid, just so many good songs on there. Love that one. Master of Reality, I think, is a masterpiece that doesn't get talked about enough. I feel like whenever it comes to Black Sabbath, it's always the first two albums I feel that most people talk about. But man, Masters of Reality, ooh, every track's good. There's no skips, not at all. And then I listened to his Patient Number 9 album, and it's pretty good. It's not bad for his last album. It's like, okay, that was solid. I think I like Ordinary Man just a little more from him, but there was some good tracks on there, man. But I'm bummed out, dude. Ozzy's like probably my favorite voice in music. That hit me like a truck. I'm gonna be honest. Hit me like a log bouncing off of a truck right into my face. Sean P. Tattoos is saying, do you think we will get any exciting news with Comic-Con coming up? Oh, absolutely. Yes. We have a really fun panel happening at Comic-Con. I don't know. There's unfortunately not so much love for this movie, but I feel like there should be. Toxic Avenger, man. We're likely getting some big updates on Toxic Avenger. They're doing a whole panel at San Diego Comic-Con this year. I'm really excited to see whatever the hell that's all about. Toxic Avenger is a movie that I've always just had a very strong appreciation for, and this new movie looks like it's going to be a really great modern kind of update on it. Love the cast. It's got a fucking excellent cast. Dying to see this one next month. We have so many movies coming out in the next like 4 or 5 weeks. I don't know how I'm going to cover everything. Like, it's just going to be review video after review video after review video. There's so many exciting things. I know some things are going to fall by the wayside, and I'm so sorry, but I promise you I'm going to see every single one. I'm going to see everything I possibly can. Even Pete Davidson in the goddamn home. I saw that one, and I'm going to see Bambi tomorrow. Have I had Matthew Lillard's whiskey? No. Would totally try that, though. I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember he was kind of promoting that last time I saw him in October of last year, which was exciting. That's always cool. Picky Piggy is saying, hot take, the original Nosferatu is better than the newer one. I mean, that's totally fair, man. Without that original Nosferatu, I don't know if you would have like a lot of darker vampire stories these days. It's got a lot of legacy to it. I think one of the first like real great horror films, if I'm being real. I really liked the newer one though quite a bit. I don't know if it was my favorite horror film of last year, but it was in my top 10 for sure. I really enjoyed it. I thought Robert Eggers' version of it was it focused on such a totally different element to that story than I would ever thought that he would be interested in putting a magnifying glass on. So I don't know. I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. It's got a great cast too. Even if I do feel like there's one character in that movie that I feel like is underutilized. That's all I'm going to say. Might do a deeper dive into that movie one day, but I've seen it second watch. I was like, man, this character's kind of wish we got more from Aaron Taylor Johnson. I just wish we got more from Aaron Taylor Johnson. Feel like he didn't give a I love him in everything else I've seen him in, but I feel like he was almost like a weak link in that movie, which might be a hot take. I don't know. Am I looking forward to the new Alien series and also Predator Badlands? Dude, Predator Badlands is one of the movies I'm the most excited for moving into the rest of the year. Like, without a doubt. This is a movie that looks like it's gonna just totally. It might be my new favorite Predator. I mean, that's how much hype I have for it. It's such a unique idea. I mean, to do like what is essentially an Alien versus Predator movie, but like without without a lot of the hallmarks of that, that whole spin-off series or whatever. I just, it's so interesting to me. I'm hyped for it, man. Love the idea of following a young Predator and also a Weyland-Yutani like android. Like, what? It's a crazy idea. I don't know. It feels like something, a concept you'd only get in like a low budget fan film, but here it is being made with millions of dollars, really competent actors, a great director. And I know it's leading towards ultimately a big AVP film. Because of course it is. So yeah, no, Predator Badlands, that's another one I want to start covering a little closer because I'm really excited for it. For Misery Gaming saying, seeing Bambi over Superman, why though? Because I got to cover that. Dude, it's Bambi the Reckoning. I have to cover that. That's insane. I mean, how many times does some crazy shit like that happens? You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of interest in the public domain horror because it is so fresh, even still. I honestly, I don't even know if we've really gotten like a genuinely great movie in that category, but it's just such a unique, weird phenomenon happening in horror. I feel like that's why there's such an interest in it. It's like, are all these movies bad? I feel like that's a big question. I see it in the horror space a lot of the time. A lot of people making content on these movies and saying like, oh, this one's probably the best public domain horror film yet. I've heard that quite a bit in many reviews. And it's always interesting. It's always interesting to go and see what the next thing is, what property they're ripping on and turning into horror. That's a whole element to a review. I feel that's really fun to talk about. It's like, did they actually turn this into a good horror film, or was it just better left as the likely children's story that it was, So it's, I don't know, public domain horror. It's an interesting topic to get into, and it's why I feel like there's a lot of love for it, even if it is kind of just like flavor of the week kind of trend that I'm sure, will probably die out at some point. But I mean, I guess they said the same thing about slasher movies, and here we are in fucking year of our Lord 2025 still talking about them, so you never know. MG Donner is saying, I never understood why John Carpenter didn't direct a Scream movie. I mean, what if Wes Craven directed a Halloween movie? You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like that'd be I don't, would it be stepping on toes? Is that what I want to say? I don't know. I feel like it would be just kind of like, that's not really his thing. I love John Carpenter and I love Wes Craven, but I think I like them for totally different reasons. They're just not the same creatives. They got totally different things going on for him. John Carpenter especially, I don't think would work with a Scream movie. He like, such a staple for him is telling these blue collar stories about like this town's getting together and they're trying to stop some threats. You know what I mean? It's very blue collar is the only word that's really coming to mind. Just kind of those are usually your protagonists. And then usually in like Wes Craven stuff, especially his 90s stuff onward, I feel like he had a little more of like a teen oriented horror drama to it. So I don't know if John Carpenter would have been interested in making a Scream movie. He's got like a sci-fi thing going on. I love Halloween, don't get me wrong, but I feel like he's always had a little bit of the supernatural sci-fi, some kind of element like that in there that Scream doesn't really have much to offer in that in that field, right? So I don't know if he would be a good. I love John Carpenter, I mean, master of horror, but I don't know if he would be a good choice. He might make it into something that would be too different, I guess is my point. Jake, have you seen Your Next? Amazing movie. Oh yeah, that's probably one of the best like just slasher films of the 2010s, I'd say. Your Next is awesome. Your Next has one of the most subtle reveals for a big twist in a movie I think I've ever seen. Like I don't even think you realize it's a twist, and you're like, oh, kind of takes you a second the first time you see it. I loved Your Next. That's a really fun movie. I got that. I used to have it on the shelf. Now it's in these boxes. But I own that one. That's definitely one I try to rewatch every now and then. Picky Piggy loves when Nosferatu is referenced in SpongeBob. I would agree. Who was flickering the lights? Nosferatu. I love that episode. That was my introduction to Nosferatu, dead serious. Like that's when I learned who that fella was. Casey Mack, you haven't seen Neverland Nightmare? Honest to God, I think that might be my favorite of the Jagged Edge films so far. Like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, lots of fun, crazy kills, big step up in terms of practical effects. But Neverland Nightmare, I feel like is just a genuinely well executed story. I don't know. I actually had a lot of love for that one. Can we start a petition in the Discord to get you to watch You and the Dexter franchise? I wish that I could just take a week off to watch all these shows and movies that you guys throw at me, because there's so much good shit out there. I just don't have the time to watch it. I would absolutely love to watch those shows though, man. Dexter is like intimidating, man. It's 8 seasons long. It sounds like a great concept for a show, but it's just it's a lot. I just got through 6 seasons of The Handmaid's Tale, and like that was something, man. It's a great show, but it's a hard watch. It is a lot of horrible things happening to innocent people, and it's a hard show to watch for sure. Emo Nerd Girl is hanging out with us saying, "Sup, dude? What up? What up, Emo Nerd Girl? How's it going? Welcome in. Thanks for hanging out with us." MG Donor is saying, "I wonder if Gale will die in Scream 7." I could see it happening. My weird conspiracy theory with Scream 6 is that she was supposed to die there. I really think honest to God, I really believed originally in the script it was going to be Gale dies, that brings Sydney into the equation, and she would have done something in Act 3 to help save our characters. But that of course didn't happen because you didn't have Sydney in the film, so they had to rewrite that. But I definitely think Gale would have died in 7. Or I mean in 6 had that not happened behind the scenes. So will they kill Gale? Will they kill a legacy character? I could see them doing it. I really feel like they've set a precedent for themselves to have some sort of stakes with each movie now. Especially after 5. That was such a, love it or hate it, Dewey's death, I feel like is part of one of the many reasons why this franchise has been so revitalized. It was just such a big shock. I mean, I think I would go so far as to argue that was a bigger shock than the killer reveals, and even that was done pretty well in my opinion in Scream 5. So I don't know, man. That was the one thing I was definitely not expecting about Scream 5 was to kill a legacy character. That to me was like, wow, Scream can really do anything now. This is crazy. Oh man, this is a good question. Fort Misery Gaming is saying, did you like Strangers Chapter 1 or I Know 2025? I'm so stumped because I hate both of these movies for totally different reasons. Man, I really got to think about that. That's a tough one. Strangers Chapter 1, you have a film with incompetent slashers that it totally misses the point of the original. I don't think I would say the same about I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. I don't feel it missed the point of the original. I feel like it captures some of the love of some of the things that worked about the OG. You know what? I'm going to go with Strangers Chapter 1 is the one I hate more. I think I liked I Know a little better. Only because I Know What You Did Last Summer at least tried to do something new. I'd rather, I'd root for a movie that tries to do something but fails, opposed to Strangers Chapter 1, which I mean is just a retread of everything that came before in the franchise. There is absolutely nothing fresh happening in that film. At least I Know What You Did Last Summer tried. I'll give them that. I'll give them some major points for that. Okay, yeah. I think I definitely I'd put Strangers Chapter 1 real low here, and I'd put I Know probably like there. It's a tick better, just a point better. If that's a 0 out of 10, I Know What You Did Last Summer's a 1. So I want to like that movie. I know a ton of people are very, very passionately, strongly had a lot of love for that one. I just did not. King Matthew III is saying, "What's up, Jake? How are you doing today?" I'm fantastic. How are you? I'm late to the stream. I'm currently at work, but I wanted to pop in and say, hey. Hey, hello. What up? Thanks for hanging out. Hope you're doing okay at work. I knew a legacy character was dying in Scream 5 when the trailer showed Gale crying. That's the one thing I hated is they spoiled someone would die. We were all talking about that. I remember that whole conversation. We were getting into it's like, oh man, Gale's screaming and freaking out. Someone's totally dying. I remember even saying, I'm like, this looks like it would be Dewey's death. But it's like, I don't think they're going to kill Dewey. Like, these are the new kids on the block. They're not going to do something that outrageous with this film, I was still convinced. I was like, there's no way these new kids who are coming into this franchise trying to do something respectful, that there's no way they're going to do something like Kill and Dewey. I was convinced they weren't going to do it, because that would just be where in my mind, I thought that might have been a step too far. Fans would have revolted. I just remember seeing so many comments from people like being crazy, like, oh man, they got to do this with the series. They got to do this with 5. I don't trust new directors, this, that, whatever. And I was just thinking to myself, I really hope I hope they're not reading that and getting scared. Because I know, like, I think most people probably would. But I don't know. I really hope that whatever 7 does, that's not afraid to, I hope it doesn't pull any punches, because I don't think 5 pulled punches. There's problems with it that I don't love, but I do like that they were able to do something kind of explosive. Did you review I Know in a video? Yeah, what's it? I hate, people are really mad at me about this title, but I called it "This Slasher Requel is Pure Dog Water." But I just didn't love it. I'm sorry, guys. I know a lot of people did, and I actually went into it really wanting to love it. I didn't have high expectations by any means, but I just like, I can't even give a slightly good review to a movie that's just incompetent. If you have dialogue that I can't understand, if you have shot composition that isn't well done, if the editing is poor, I mean, I'm just gonna, I can't positively review a movie like that. And just really bums me out that there wasn't a more sophisticated something on the technical side of things with that movie. Cause I feel like the first one, it's a classic. Should have thrown a little more respect onto that new movie. Did I like Drop? I did. I thought Drop was a really fun time. Really unexpectedly, that to me is one of the most surprise hits of the year so far. I didn't think I was going to like that one, and I actually did quite a bit. That to me is like a very campy thriller done right. Like that to me is how you do a very well done campy thriller. I mean, it's a killer who uses airdrop to taunt his victim. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's outrageous. But they actually do it with some grace, and it's fun. Again, is it a masterpiece? No, but was it a really fun thriller flick? Yeah, man. I mean, there's, again, with I Know What You Did Last Summer, man, there's just not really any super interesting shots. The editing's really choppy. With Drop, at least, the shot composition is like a 10 out of 10. There's some really cool ideas there. We have this shot where our character is basically cornered. She has to do something fucking awful to her date, who seems like a really nice guy. And then she's in, she retreats to the bathroom to kind of like have a moment to like plan something out. And we get this top down shot where it just like draws out, and she just looks like she's in this abyss trapped somewhere. I mean, it's just such a great, just a well done idea for a shot. There's nothing like that in I Know What You Did Last Summer. There's no interesting shots or even, I mean, it's a gray looking film. The color correction isn't anything super special. Drop has these little tiny minute details that I just feel like elevate it big time. Kind of goes to show, I mean, I think my favorite horror movies overall are the ones that have really good concepts. But if you just do things really well from a behind the scenes perspective, you can make kind of anything good, even a fucking airdrop killer movie. I mean, it just goes to show, if you have really technical, artistic people working on your film behind the scenes, it's going to elevate your movie. And I just, again, another thing I just didn't really feel about I Know What You Did Last Summer. Felt very cookie cutter and corporate. Test screening for Scream 7, asks Nikos. I don't know about any test screening for 7. I know that some people have seen early drafts of it. That's all I'll say. I couldn't tell you who that is, but I'm aware that there's footage out there. Tyler Ism is throwing $10 out there saying, I want to tattoo your favorite horror film on you. Got to make it happen. Yes, absolutely. I got this bad boy. This is my only tattoo right now. I got a little Ghostface on my shoulder, but I'd love to get something else. I want a whole sleeve of horror shit on my right arm. Tyler, actually, I'll tell you my whole plan. I want to do like my right arm, like a whole sleeve down to my wrist, and then I want to do my left leg. So I just got tattoos on like 2 limbs. I feel like that would like look fucking sick. What's my favorite horror film? Now, what's a tattoo of my? What would I want a tattoo of? I'm really trying to think. Maybe a Necronomicon. That would be sick. Maybe an Art the Clown. I'd get an Art the Clown tattoo. I love him enough. He's a silly little guy. Art the Clown or Necronomicon, one of those. I think I would definitely want one of those on my arm. Tyler, dude, thank you so much for the 10, man. We gotta make something happen. That would be sick. let me know. Let me know what's up. We'll plan a date or something. We'll get something going here. I got to get another tattoo, man. They say that they're addicting, and they truly are. I think ever since I got this bad boy on my shoulder, I'm like, I want another one. Oh, they're cool. They're expensive though. that's what's kind of deterred me. But man, they're fun. They're very fun. Ooh, Sam from Trick or Treat. That's a good one. I love that. Sam is such a cool looking villain, man. I would totally get a tattoo of him. One more chat here, and I think old Jake's going to be signing off. We got Fort Misery Gaming saying, Jake, here are all the scare zones for HHN this year. The Cat Lady of Crooked Lane, ooh. Mutations, Toxic 20s, Masquerade, Dance with Death, The Origins of Horror. Is that, Mel's Die-In? I have a shirt with that on it. With zombies. Mel's Die-In with zombies. Hell yeah. I want to go there so bad, dude, and I've said it before, but I don't think I can make it down there this year, which bums me out. But God, I'd do anything to get down to HHN. You got a Terrifier house this year. Oh, God, I want to get out there so bad. Would be nice. Tyler is saying you're based out of Tennessee, but I have a temp license for the state of Ohio for about another year. Oh shit. Come on up, dude. Come on up anytime. I will let you stick a needle in me. That'll be fun. No, very good stuff. Very good stuff. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I greatly appreciate you a ton. We'll be live again on Friday. And tomorrow I'll be live over on the gaming channel at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So stop on by, go subscribe to GullGotha. I have a new video hopefully going up either Friday or this weekend on the gaming channel on a brand new video game. Really big release this week. In terms of horror. Sorry about the burp. But definitely check it out. So much love to you guys. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Watch the VHS video. Bye. Peace out. Have a nice week. Kill it out there.